What if most of the things you are worrying about right now do not actually matter? What if the endless loop of anxiety in your mind could be broken, not by changing the world around you, but simply by changing the way you see it? This is not a fantasy. This is Stoicism. For more than 2,000 years, Stoic philosophy has helped people free themselves from the chaos of overthinking. Today, I want to share with you 6 timeless Stoic practices that will help you stop worrying and start living with clarity and peace of mind. First, focus on what you can control, let go of what you cannot. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, wrote that our happiness depends on the quality of our thoughts, not on external events. Worry thrives when we obsess over things we cannot influence, other people's opinions, the future, or random circumstances. The truth is, worrying about what you cannot control is wasted energy. Instead, direct your focus to the things you can control: your actions, your attitude, your preparation, your character. If you have an important meeting, you cannot control how your boss reacts, but you can control how well you prepare, how you speak, and how you carry yourself. The moment you shift from obsessing about outcomes to focusing on effort, worry loses its grip. Second, practice negative visualization. This is one of the most surprising Stoic exercises. Imagine the worst-case scenario. Not to make yourself miserable, but to see reality more clearly. We worry endlessly because we fear the unknown. But when you deliberately imagine what could go wrong, failure, rejection, loss, you face it directly. You realize that most of the things you fear are not as catastrophic as your imagination makes them. You might fear losing a job, failing an exam, or being embarrassed in public. But what happens if those things occur? You would adapt. You would move forward. Life would continue. By facing the worst mentally, you become stronger. And when the worst does not happen, which is most of the time, you feel gratitude instead of fear. Third, stay in the present moment. Worry feeds on 2 places: the past and the future. We replay old mistakes, or we create endless scenarios of what might happen tomorrow. But neither of these places exists. The past is gone. The future has not arrived. The only real moment you have is now. Epictetus taught that if you wish to be free, do not wish for things to happen as you want them, but wish for things to happen as they do. That teaching is a reminder to focus on the present, the one space where you have real power. Ask yourself, what can I do right now that matters? Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. Every time you bring yourself back to the present, worry loses one of its strongest weapons. Fourth, remember that everything is temporary. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves of impermanence. Nothing lasts forever, not pain, not joy, not even life itself. When you feel crushed by anxiety, remember that this moment is not eternal. What feels overwhelming now will eventually pass, just as every storm eventually clears. This simple truth brings perspective. Think about the last time you faced a challenge that felt unbearable. At that moment, you thought it would never end. But here you are. You survived it. You grew from it. This is the power of impermanence. It gives you the courage to face difficulties knowing they are temporary. Fifth, reframe obstacles as opportunities. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is perhaps the most powerful Stoic idea. Obstacles are not barriers, they are fuel for growth. Instead of worrying about challenges, ask yourself, how can I use this? How can this setback make me stronger, wiser, more resilient? A failure can teach you discipline. A rejection can redirect you to a better path. Even loss can deepen your appreciation for life. Worry focuses on what could go wrong. Stoicism transforms that energy into asking, how can this make me better? Sixth, accept what you cannot change, act where you can. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Worry multiplies our pain because we resist what already is. The Stoic answer is radical acceptance. Do not fight reality. Do not argue with the present. Accept it fully, and then act with clarity where you can. If something is outside your control, let it go. If something is within your control, take action. This is the simple formula for peace of mind. Worrying does not prevent tomorrow's problems. It only drains today's strength. The Stoics knew this long before modern psychology. The mind can be trained. By focusing on what you can control, practicing negative visualization, staying present, remembering impermanence, reframing obstacles, and practicing acceptance, you free yourself from the endless cycle of worry. So next time you catch yourself lost in anxiety, pause. Ask yourself, Is this within my control? Will this matter a year from now? How can I use this moment to grow? When you adopt the Stoic mindset, you stop being a prisoner of worry. You start living with clarity, strength, and inner calm. Stop worrying. Start living.